Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and here are several things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now, as you probably saw, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, ugly days for most of the major market indexes last week. And then on Friday, bam, a good jobs report. As we outlined last week, we wanted to pay attention to our Friday session because that was bringing a lot of volatility, and lo and behold, it did. We saw some great moves up for the broad market indexes. What will this week hold? Well, I don't know which way it's going to go, but I can tell you we have some very exciting news happening with earnings calendar. That's right. I know. Earnings, it's been so boring, Merlin. Why would you want to talk about earnings? Because we've got some monster things happening on earnings. Take a peek at the calendar. You have 52 companies reporting. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, you've got PepsiCo. Wednesday, you've got nothing as well. And then Thursday gets a little better. Delta Airlines, Walgreens Boots Alliance, Domino's Pizza, Fastenal, and Infosys. And on Friday, I'm going to put a little crown on the top there Friday because the king is back. It's the kickoff to earnings season. The big daddy, the big names, JP Morgan, Citibank, Wells Fargo, PNC Financial, BlackRock, Progressive, and United Health. What this means is we are officially off to the races with regards to earnings. That's a good thing because it means more volatility, like you haven't had enough. So keep your eyes open on Friday because what happens with some of these financial firms may dictate what happens with our markets going forward. Remember, the long-dated bonds yields have been rising dramatically. We just recently saw that 10-year go over 4.8%. That big surge may actually have an impact on banks to the negative. We've seen some pretty downtrending stocks and Charles Schwab and some of the other major financial firms out there. Let's see if that continues and what the earnings announcements show for financial firms, at least to start that earnings season. All right, our next piece we're going to talk about is back to inflation. Yes, I know, it keeps raising its ugly head and will not stop until inflation is completely under control. So we'll start things off earlier on in the week, on Wednesday. It's a bit different. Normally we start off with CPI and then we go to PPI. This week we're starting with PPI, which is your producer price index, Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And as you can see on the hard red edge of your chart here, it has been surging up. We've got 4 consecutive months in a row that the cost of goods has been rising for producers. That's a sign of inflation being persistent. And you notice how high it is. It's getting back to those levels that we saw from 2021 and early 2022. That's not a good thing. So expectations are that we're going to see that number drop from 0.7 to 0.3, going back to the bar that was just before it. So in theory, we should see inflation take a step back, but time will tell, and we'll have to wait and see what happens on Wednesday. The good news is that is 1 hour before the markets open, so the volatility will already be priced in when those markets open on Wednesday. But wait, there's more. We take a step forward just one day, and you get the consumer price index, which passes that inflation number on to you and I. Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we will see that number come out. And you can see the previous number was 0.6, another big jump up, and they are expecting that right now to be cut in half. They're expecting to drop from 0.6% to 0.3%. While this is all fine and dandy and important to look at on a month-over-month basis, it's even more important to look at the year-over-year basis and see how things have actually been changing long-term. Here we have consumer price index numbers, which of course comes out at, as just mentioned, Thursday at 8:30 a.m. On the right-hand side of your chart, you can see we've had a pretty sharp decline from those 2022 highs when we were, 8-9%. That was pretty steep. It's been a great decline, but all of a sudden the past 3 months, as you can see right here, we've seen an increase in CPI numbers all the way up to 3.7%. Now, is this the end all? No, it just means we have a trend moving to the upside, and our data this week may give us some clues as to where the Fed is going to start to position itself for that November 1st meeting, which is coming up rather quickly. Okay, we've gotten a couple pieces of information out of the way. I've got one more, which is very different, kind of an oddball, and isn't a specific date or time. As you may know, this gentleman right here has been in the spotlight for quite some time. This is Sam Bankman-Fried, who is now on trial for all the issues that went on with Alameda Research and FTX. A lot of people saying fraud, scam, Ponzi. A lot of people debating whether he's going to go to prison or not. Now, why did I put this one on here? Well, first off, you have to understand that this individual has been giving out not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions, but tens of millions of dollars to elected officials. We're talking both aisles, Democrats, Republicans. He has been flooding their pockets with money that may have been ill-gotten, right? It may have been from this fraudulent thing that people are calling FTX and Alameda Research. Now, the trial is still going on. And the reason I put this on is last week, the trial was going, and there was a lot of speculation about who might be testifying, who might be getting on stage, and whose names might be brought into the fray. And also, do some politicians stand up and start to defend him or throw their weight around to try to influence this court decision and this trial. So it's going to be going on all week. Expect volatility, particularly those of you who are in the cryptocurrency space. As you may know, Alameda Research and FTX have a tremendous amount of crypto in their assets. FTX has over $1 billion worth of Solana tokens, which now can be sold on the open market, and that may create some waves. They also have over $500 million worth of Bitcoin sitting on their books, and that, of course, can be sold as well, creating a lot of moves. Now, this all ties into other pieces as well. As you know, there is a lot of talk about the Bitcoin ETF or spot Bitcoin ETF coming to the market. I, for one, am extremely excited about that. I do believe it will happen by the end of the year, and I believe there will be multiple firms that are approved for a spot Bitcoin F by the end of the year, and that could create a huge surge up in the whole crypto space. So keep your eye on that one, something fun, a little bit different, which may move these markets. And again, I'm really interested to see how all the politics tie into it. The big stuff for the week, though, is your earnings calendar. Huge news on Friday as we kick off earnings season with the banks. And then, of course, inflation data, which may steer the path for the Fed going forward at the November 1st FOMC meeting. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must-Knows. We'll see you next week.